celebration of both continuity and change. Continuity in the form of a military tradition whose roots reach back through the time to the legions of ancient Rome, to the passing of signets that once symbolized the transfer of command from one to another. Change, as the great command says farewell to an honored leader who welcomes his successor through a ceremony that differs only in style, not substance, from those of the Romans. Once the members of the official party have taken their places, please remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors by the Minot Air Force Base Honor Guard, the singing of our national anthem by Tech Sergeant Christine Cherry, and the invocation by Chaplain Mark Bradshaw. During the singing of the national anthem, military guests in uniform must stand at the position of attention, while civilian guests should stand with their hand over their heart. We are honored to have many special guests with us today. Special guests of Colonel Greggy include his spouse, Katie, and their children, Harvey and Brad. Special guests of Colonel Kane include his spouse, Ashley, and their children, Olivia, Jack, Sophia, and Cash. His parents, Gary and Carol Kane, and his father-in-law, General William Frazier, and his wife, Beverly Frazier. Distinguished guests in attendance include spouse of the commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Mrs. Joyce Hoadley. Representing the 91st Missile Wing Commander, Colonel Kristen Nemish, 91st Operations Group Commander. Vice Commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Colonel Michael McGinnis, and his spouse, Amy. Command Chief, 5th Bomb Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Tori Jones, and her spouse, Dr. Mary Evans. Honorary Commander, 5th Operations Group, Mr. Bruce Christensen, and his spouse, Linda. We would also like to welcome all other commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, friends, and members of Team Minot. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the arrival of the official party.
Present the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof fair. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chaplain Bradshaw, please come forward to offer the invocation.
Please join me in prayer. Mighty and awesome God, you know the incredible power and capabilities of the 5th Operations Group here at Minot Air Force Base, and therefore the weight of responsibility placed upon the commander. May he find you near whenever he turns to you for wisdom and guidance. We thank you for the leadership and dedicated service of Colonel Gorecki during his time here as commander, and ask for your blessing upon him, his spouse Katie, and their children Harvey and Brett, as they move on to Barksdale Air Force Base. Similarly, as we welcome our new commander, we ask for your blessing upon Colonel Kane, his spouse Ashley, and their children Olivia, Jack, Sophia, and Cash, particularly during this transition. Gracious God, it says in the 23rd Psalm that your goodness and mercy will pursue us. And in the Psalm immediately preceding the 69th, you are revered as the one who rides upon the clouds. In these uncertain times, you are the operator who supports and sustains us all. May we find shelter beneath your wing and remain resolute in our hope for peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Honor Guard, Ex-Sergeant Cherry, and Chaplain Bradshaw. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Colonel Daniel Hogan.
Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, please put the formation at ease. It is my distinct privilege today to preside over today's ceremony as one of my first official duties as a 5th Bomb Wing Commander. This ceremony provides us the opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to Colonel Ryan Gorecki, who has served the 5th Bomb Wing well and faithfully for the last 2 years, while welcoming Colonel Chris Kane, who has proved his mettle to assume the trusted position of Commander, 5th Operations Group. I would like to recognize our distinguished guests who took the time out of their busy schedules to be present today. First, Chris's parents, Gary and Carol. Awesome that you could be here today to witness today's special occasion. General and Mrs. Frazier, I suspect your more significant duty titles today are Grandpa and Grandma or Mom and Dad, but it's an honor to have you in attendance today. And I would also like to welcome Bruce and Linda Christensen. Thanks for making it out to another momentous occasion for the 5th Bomb Wing. Let me also thank Tech Sergeant Cherry for an outstanding rendition of our national anthem, Captain Bradshaw for the invocation, the extremely professional Minot Air Force Base Color Guard for presenting the colors, as well as Leroy and the Dynamite Protocol team for putting today's ceremony together. Colonel Ryan Gurecki, Hoopty. Today is bittersweet for you, I'm sure. Command is simultaneously the most exhilarating and exhausting experience in an officer's career. And your accomplishments over the past 2 years make it abundantly clear that you leaned into this opportunity. Hoopty and I have had no professional affiliation previously, and we've worked together now for a whopping 1 week. But let me describe my first impressions, and you can give me a thumbs up back there if I get this right. Hoopty is an empathetic leader. He cares deeply about the airmen in his group and trusts his subordinate commanders implicitly to get the mission done. Hoopty is a family man who models work-life balance. And he is an absolute expert in this weapon system with credibility spanning the entire bomber community. We'll hear about Hoopty's exploits in detail momentarily when the citation is read, but I'd like to highlight a few now. On his watch, the 5th Operations Group executed 44 higher headquarters directed sorties with overflight of 34 allied nations. He nailed a record-breaking flying hour program consisting of over 6,100 flight hours and 1,022 sorties in the midst of a pandemic. And perhaps most impressively, he prepared and deployed a squadron to the CENTCOM AOR on short notice to provide armed overwatch for the withdrawal of American forces from Afghanistan. Job well done, brother. Today, we're not just saying goodbye to an outstanding leader, we're bidding farewell to a great Air Force family. Katie, Harvey, and Brett, you have no doubt played a tremendous role in Hoopty's success and made lasting impressions on the families here at Minot Air Force Base, and we wish you the best as you move to Barksdale. Colonel Chris Kane, Lumberg, you have big shoes to fill, my friend, but Lumberg's no slouch. Colonel Kane is coming to us from the Joint Staff, where he excelled as a special assistant to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. His record of service validates that only the best come north, although it has taken us a little bit of time to loosen the kung fu grip that the state of Louisiana and Barksdale Air Force Base have had on him up to this point. We're excited today to put some additional all-star recruits on the Warburg roster. Ashley, Olivia, Jack, Sophia, Cash, welcome to the team. And thanks in advance for all the contributions you will make in the years ahead. Now, many of you are likely familiar with the classic 1999 movie Office Space. That is the inspiration for Lumberg's call sign. And as I was preparing for my remarks today, I came across a recent leadership article with a variation on the theme of this movie. And it just so happens to articulate many of the points I wanted to make to Lumberg and as I give him advice in stepping into command. It was titled, Leadership with Lumberg, 5 Ways to Manage Your Micromanager. Please bear with me as I put a different spin on a few of these points. Number 1, build trust. You are walking into a group that is firing on all cylinders, filled with warriors who are masters of their craft. Their trust in you will be contingent on your dedication to taking care of the airmen in this group and your ability to put the mission first. Number 2, anticipate the future. You will command in the midst of a strategic environment that is drastically different than the one you and I stepped into at the outset of the global war on terrorism. We are now in an era of great power competition, facing adversaries whose capabilities are accelerating and are contesting us at every turn. Build the momentum in this group that will carry the team and the weapon system into the future. Number 3, encourage change. In your tenure, we'll see the most significant technological upgrades to the B-52 that have occurred in the lifespan of the jet. Be open to new ideas and foster development now of the tactics, techniques, and procedures that must accompany these modifications to preserve the B-52's position as the most feared long-range strike weapon system on the planet. The way ahead will not be easy, but I'm confident that you and the rest of the ops group team are up to the task. So with no further ado, let's take the first step on this path.
Thank you, Colonel Hoadley. At this time, Colonel Gurecki will receive the Legion of Merit, 2nd Oak Leaf Buster. Please stand for the presentation of the award. Attention to orders. Colonel Ryan E. Gorecki distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service in the United States as Commander, 5th Operations Group, 5th Bomb Wing, Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, from 15 July 2020 to 29 June 2022. Through his exemplary leadership, Colonel Gorecki demonstrated the unstoppable nuclear and conventional readiness and deterrence of the United States. This was validated by his guidance in multiple B-52 nuclear generations and a nuclear surety inspection. Additionally, during a nuclear weapons system evaluation program, the high performance of the 5th Operations Group under his leadership led the evaluation team to accelerate their assessment schedule as B-52 crews were able to launch 117% of the originally scheduled missiles, and the 5th Operations Group distinguished itself with 6 superior performance. On the conventional front, Colonel Gorecki mobilized 2 historic Bomber Task Force deployments to Royal Air Force Fairford, United Kingdom, during which the 5th Operations Group executed the first quiet arrival of 6 B-52s and 296 airmen, completed a same-day overflight of all 30 NATO countries, and stood ready to protect the allies of the United States during the Russian advance into Ukraine. Furthermore, he oversaw a rapid contingency deployment to the United States Central Command, where B-52 supported Operation Freedom Sentinel and Operation Allies Refuge, which ensured the safe evacuation of 155,000 Afghan refugees and 8,500 coalition service members, culminating in the end of the Korean War. Moreover, Colonel Gorecki fostered the development of the dynamic force employment operations, where he was directly responsible for the execution of 44 higher headquarters directed missions, including the overflight of 34 allied nations, and culminated in 2.5 billion media hits. Due to his continued commitment to the nuclear and conventional missions, strategic deterrence was assured, and the readiness of the B-52 combat forces was strengthened. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Gorecki reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Gorecki.
Alrighty, hopefully everybody can hear me okay, and I will try to be mindful of the microphone so you can hear my words here. So good morning, thanks everybody for being here in the audience. Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, please put the formation at ease. So first, I want to say thank you to the team who organized this change of command ceremony. So thanks to Hitman, Captain Sherwood, the protocol team, and all your teammates who helped set up and make this happen. I know there was some towing of the stage between the 91st and back over here, so thank you. Thanks also to the Honor Guard. Thank you to Chaplain Bradshaw for the invitation, and that national anthem was amazing, Secretary, so thank you for that beautiful rendition. Colonel Hoadley, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for officiating this change of command just a short time after arriving on station. I am incredibly grateful that you are doing this for me and Chris. And I'm really excited to see where you and Joyce are going to take this wing. I like your focus on expertise, executing with the long view, and emphasizing teamwork and dignity and respect. I wish you my best, sir. And this is why I brought my water. To our special guests, Colonel McGinnis and Amy, thank you for taking the time to be here. To Chris and Emish, thank you for representing the Rough Riders. Thank you. Chief Jones, Dr. Mary, welcome to the team. I'm very excited to see how your time will play out here at Minot, and you've got a great group. And then General and Mrs. Frazier, appreciate you being here to celebrate this day with Chris and Ashley, so thank you. And finally, to the rest of Team Minot, commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, civic leaders, friends, and members of the 5th Operations Group War Eagles, it is good to have you here. So it was humbling to hear all that the 5th Ops Group has done over the last 2 years, but I owe a lot of thanks to others for making that possible. So first, I'd like to thank God for all of his blessings. And my family is my greatest blessing. So Katie, thank you for your love and support, for taking care of our family when I couldn't be there, and for your unending support to the spouses of the OG. I couldn't have done this job without you, so thank you and I love you. Harvey and Brett, I know you've enjoyed your time at Minot, while also looking forward to our return to Shreveport. And I'm very proud of how you've grown as young men. You didn't get the choice on where to live or when to move, so thank you for being great young men and doing well in school and continuing to work hard in Scouts and band. If you didn't know, while we were here in Minot, Harvey earned his Eagle Scout rank with Troop 433 in Minot, and you can go and enjoy, thank you. You can go enjoy the exploits of his Eagle Scout project down at the Minot Zoo just as you go over the bridge. There's these big, beautiful white houses with some green tin roofs, so you can go check those out. And Brett did an awesome job and earned his star rank. So we had a lot of fun. We had a great time going around camping in the area in both the hot and the cold. So thank you guys. I love you. And then there are 2 people here who are no strangers to Minot and the base, and I am forever grateful for their friendship and for them inviting us into their home. So Bruce and Linda, thank you for treating us like your family and showing us the beauty of North Dakota. You always have an open invitation anytime you visit the Shreveport, so thank you for your friendship. I have never worked with a better group of colonels and owe a huge amount of thanks to the best group commanders in the Air Force. So Jeff, Brett, Joel, and 2 more who left last summer, Aaron and Lisa, you all are amazing. And I am forever grateful for your friendship, your mentoring, and emotional support. We have worked through some amazing challenges in this wing, and we could not have succeeded without our outstanding trust, teamwork, and collaboration. You will always hold a special place in my heart, and I am here for you anytime you need me. I also owe a lot of thanks to my OG staff, my execs, my group deputies for helping to keep me on time, to make sure we were slaying the tasks that were ahead of us, and for keeping me sane. So Miyagi, Hyde, and Gonk, you guys did way too much, and I appreciate your resilience, your inspiration, and grit. Thank you for honchoing our steak dinner crew and the bird hunts, and I look forward to your future successes. And Miyagi, I know you're here somewhere, I haven't spotted you yet. Miyagi, I look forward to you getting your bird this next season, both the pheasant and the rank. Now, I was especially blessed with an amazing chief, Swanee and Deanna. Thank you for sticking it out another year to conclude this epic journey. You know, and I know, I could not have done this without you. I will be forever grateful for your friendship with me and Katie, your wise counsel, for listening to my crazy ideas, and for keeping me focused. I am honored to have served with you and wish you two my best on your future in Texas, and I know we will see each other again very soon. To my 2 shirts, Master Sergeant Keeley and Lucian, your passion for our airmen is inspiring, and I know that isn't easy, as you often get to take care of airmen when they aren't having their best day. You always kept a positive outlook, advised commanders, and took the time to help and guide some outstanding airmen. Thank you for your dedication and passion. So multiple times in my command, I've had numerous people tell me I have an amazing group of squadron commanders, and I absolutely agree. I was blessed with some of the finest squadron leaders in the Air Force who made my job easy. I simply had to stay out of their way, offer a little advice, and let them lead. So Bruiser, Vapor, Mayhem, Bear, Ghost, and Onyx, thank you for leading your squadrons, for building an inclusive and innovative warrior culture, for always taking the time to celebrate victories, recognize your airmen, and for embodying the phrase, only the best come north. Your futures are very bright, and I feel fortunate to have served with you. To the men and women of the 5th Operations Group, you are the ones who own the accomplishments we've heard today. We work in a harsh environment to keep an aging but reliable B-52 operating every day. It is not easy, but you do it while also having fun. No one else gets to wear that badge of pride that comes with putting in a hard day's work in an isolated region with some of the most extreme weather in the world, all while being ready to go at a moment's notice for either conventional or nuclear operations. It has been my honor to serve you, and I will miss you. While I'm sad to be leaving this world-class organization, I am incredibly excited for the group because in just a few moments, Colonel Chris Kane is going to take the guidon to lead this team into the future. Chris, you, Ashley, and the kids are going to have a blast over the next 2 years. And I'm glad that Chief Gervin and Sarah are joining you at the start of your command tour together. I couldn't have asked for a better leader to take over this group because I know you are starting this job with the same excitement and passion that I had 2 years ago. I've always known you to be a caring leader of strong integrity who knows how to inspire airmen and rally the team when there is hard work to accomplish. And let me tell you, there is plenty of hard work and fun times in store for you, from BTFs, generations, NSIs, a lot of flying ops. So I know you're going to do well, and I will be cheering you on from Barksdale. So I think I've been going a little too long here, so I apologize. And Katie has given me that signal. She started the car. So I'm going to get off stage here. So Barons, Ironmen, and Nighthawks, it has been my privilege to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Gorecki. At this time, the men and women of the 5th Operations Group would like to bid farewell to Colonel Gorecki by offering him one last salute. Additionally, Colonel Gorecki would also like to present Mrs. Gorecki with a bouquet of flowers. Mrs. Gorecki, the men and women of the 5th Operations Group would like to echo Colonel Gorecki's appreciation for your sacrifice and support over the past 2 years. You will be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, 5th Bomb Wing, Minot Air Force Base, Special Order Number 22-033, dated 14 June 2022. By order of the Commander, Colonel Ryan E. Gorecki will relinquish command to Colonel Christopher G. Kane, 5th Operations Group, Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, effective 29 June 2022. Signed, Colonel Michael O. Walters. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 5th Operations Group, Colonel Chris Kane.
So some of you may have noticed I got a little excited earlier and almost dashed for the guidon earlier. So I'm thrilled of what's before me. So just wanted to take a couple of quick minutes and formation. You may be at ease. First, I'd like to thank you, Colonel Hoadley, for the trust you placed in me to lead the ops group. Ashley and I are thrilled to serve alongside you and Joyce, as well as Colonel McGinnis and Chief Jones and the amazing leadership team that has been assembled here. I give a heartfelt thanks to all who put this together, from the protocol team to Hitman, Captain Sherwood here, the Honor Guard Chaplain, Sergeant Cherry, Lieutenant Colonel Sullivan, and the members of the formation this morning. From the ops group, and last but certainly not least, our dedicated partners out there on the ramp that prepare our aircraft to fly every day, the 5th Maintenance Group. So, I'm gonna give them a quick. I'd like to thank our Minot civic leaders, to include Mr. Christensen here, and Linda, for your leadership and partnership in the years ahead. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for your service to the great state of North Dakota, as well as the United States writ large. I look forward to our relationship. I'd like to recognize our partners here, Colonel Nemish here from the 91st as well. Thank you for making it out today. I'm going to certainly enjoy having that relationship with the missile wing, as we provide 2 legs of the triad right here in Minot, North Dakota. Further, I'd like to thank my fellow group commanders, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, for your wisdom and counsel for what's ahead. And without you, our mission wouldn't be possible, and our people certainly would not remain prioritized without your help. So thank you for that. Colonel Gorecki and Katie and the boys, I owe you a special debt of gratitude for your service to this group the past couple of years. I'm told that I've been offered the keys to a Ferrari, though I'd be happy with a Mopar. I can't thank you enough for what you've done here, your friendship, and wish you nothing but Godspeed and the best of Artsdale, and of course, we'll be in touch. I want to also recognize my incoming senior enlisted leader, Chief Gervin, who is eager to serve here as our ops group, as Chief Swanson's time of distinguished service is coming to a close to our nation. So thank you for serving alongside me this next couple of years. I appreciate my parents traveling all the way from the Pelican State to come up here to watch this ceremony. And my friend, mentor, father-in-law, Will, and my dear mother-in-law, Bev, for coming in from Texas today. I'd like to thank Ashley and the kids for being on this Air Force journey with me together. We're going to break up the band a little bit as my oldest will be heading down to Texas A&M. It's hard to say as an LSU Tiger. I thank you in advance, though, for your love and support during this experience that is not just another assignment. We are about to serve some of the most amazing airmen on the planet. I'm extremely honored and humbled by the opportunity to lead the distinguished men and women of the 50G, both in uniform and in civilian clothes. Your dedication is what motivates me. I look forward to serving alongside you to ensure this great nation continues to receive the defense it deserves. We'll continue to be the big stick on the plains, focused on our AOR, the globe. Alongside the Rough Riders, we'll help keep the wolves at bay, and for any of them who dares challenge us, we'll be ready to show them the business end of the mighty, ageless B-52. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher Payne. At this time, we ask that you please focus your attention on the magnificent aircraft parked behind the formation. The aircraft behind you is the B-52H Stratofortress, serial number 60-0055, 5th Operations Group flagship. As with aircraft nose art, it is a time-honored tradition for the crew chief to paint the name of the commander near the cockpit. We will honor this tradition today and will now unveil Colonel Payne's name on the airplane.
I accept my aircraft.
At this time, the men and women of the 5th Operations Group would like to welcome Colonel Payne by rendering him a first salute. Next, Colonel Payne would like to present flowers to Mrs. Kane and his daughters, Olivia and Sophia. Mrs. Kane, welcome to the 5th Operations Group family. We look forward to working with you during your time here. In keeping with the Air Force tradition, we will conclude today's ceremony with the singing of the Air Force song. While it is mandatory for the Air Force members to stand at the position of attention, we invite all of our guests to join us in standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party, as well as special guests and distinguished visitors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Off we go to the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here comes to meet our thunder, at a forward, give it a gun. Down we dive, flame from under, off the one hell of a roll. We live in pain, we go down the plane. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please proceed through the receiving line and join us for a reception towards the back of the building to welcome Colonel Payne and his family. Thank you.